Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jørgensen. I represent a Norwegian biotech company called Biotec Pharmacon. We have two business areas, basically, a BetaGlucan business area and an Enzymes business area. Nothing spectacular about that. There's lots of companies out there who does BetaGlucans and lots of companies does enzymes. We do it in a very special way, and we have IP protection around it, and this is what makes us special. Why are we in one company? We are in one company because we originate from Tromsø University. There was bright people there who had some technologies that they wanted to commercialize, and thereby they set up this company, Biotec Pharmacon. We're listed on the Norwegian Stock Exchange, have been that for some years. And what we have in common between the two areas is, of course, admin, finance, quality systems, lab, logistics, and everything else. But beyond that, they actually work independently of each other. So the BetaGlucan area. BetaGlucans has been around for almost 1,000 years. The Chinese, for 2,000 years ago, used BetaGlucans. They didn't know it was BetaGlucans, but they used it to treat themselves. They have a immune modulating effect. But what we've done with them is that we have actually produce some chains, or some side chains of the beta-glucan, and the more side chains you have, the more efficiency you have out of it. And what we have patent protected is actually the number of side chains we have on the beta-glucan, and thereby influencing the macrophages in the immune system, and thereby having the health effect that we see. So this is what we've done, and we use it in two different areas. One is a wound care product. Wound care product for stalled wounds, reactivating the healing process. And it is a product that is on the market today. It is reimbursed in England, in Germany, and the Nordics. And we have quite some significant clinical data to support our claim. Basically what we see that about 60% of patients with a stalled wound will have that wound healing reactivated and heal the wounds, versus 30% in standard care. And given the amount of chronic wounds out there and stalled wounds, and given if you have a diabetic foot ulcer, for instance, which has become stalled, over 5% of those stalled wounds will end in amputation. So this is a huge issue. You also see a number of what I call silent sufferers. These are patients sitting at home. They've been referred to dermatologists, they've been referred to all sorts of people, have not really received the care they need, and they sit back home with pain, with a lot of other issues. This is what we can help with Vulcan, and this is what we see. We have treated about 10,000 patients until today, and our path forward is to find a partner who can help us go even further out in the world. As a small company, we don't have any chance to do this ourselves, but finding partners around the world will help this product to become a success. So this is one area where we use the beta-glucan. The other area is in a rare cancer disease called neuroblastoma. It's a disease that hits children between 1 and 2 and rarely over 10 years old. It's not a huge disease area. It's about 1,500 patients per year in the US and in Europe. However, the patients, once they're treated, half of them have a chance of relapse. And once you have a relapsed neuroblastoma, your chance of survival is not very high. So together with another company who have developed a vaccine against the relapse of neuroblastoma, we administer our beta-glucan as an adjuvant to the vaccine. There's a study going on in New York, and the phase 2 results that were published in May, you can see there. We are quite excited about it in terms of the effect of it. And what we'll do next, we will continue the study. It will end. The phase 2 study will end sometimes in May 2020. It will now be a 2-arm study, one where the adjuvant and the vaccine is administered at the same time, and one where the adjuvant is administered 6 weeks later, just to see what is the effect of the vaccine and what is the effect of the adjuvant. But we're quite optimistic about this, and it just gives you the idea of where we are in terms of beta-glucan, that a beta-glucan is not just a nutritional supplement that you can buy in the supermarket, but if you clean it up the way you've done it and the way we have protected it, you can actually, it has more applications. Then we have the enzymes business, which is not a business like a normal enzymes business. You have companies like Enzymes. They're selling tons of enzymes at a time. We sell what you would call a glass of water is for us $100,000 enzyme sale. So it's very small volumes, very unique and very specialized enzymes. The reason that we come into this business area is because we had, from the Nordics, from the Arctic, we had something called heat lab enzymes. That is enzymes that are actually inactivated at fairly low temperatures. So when you have a process, diagnostic process, whatever process, you don't have to heat it up to 80 degrees to inactivate the enzyme. You can do it at a much lower temperature and thereby speed up the process. So this is what we do. And this is the market. It's a fairly big market. You don't need to understand the names there. We develop new enzymes, very specialized enzymes. Our key customers are gene therapy companies and diagnostics companies. And these are some of the biggest companies in the world within this area. And whenever I meet them, I ask them, why don't you do these enzymes yourself? You can put off 40 PhDs, you can put the money behind it, you can develop the enzymes yourself. And they say, no, we cannot. Because you have the agility and the quality and the focus to do this better than we as a large company can do. So they actually ask us to develop more enzymes, to have more products in the portfolio, and this is what we aim to do. So we launched 5 new products in 10 months, and we'll continue to launch new products in this area to supply gene therapy and diagnostics companies. Beyond that, we also want to acquire companies so we can supplement our products, so we can be more relevant to our customers, and we're already in dialogue with some companies out there. We're also part of something called Horizon 2000, which is a European Union-sponsored project to identify new enzymes, clean them up, and put them on the market. So that's the ArcticZymes part of our business. The commercial team of our Biotec Pharmacon is not placed in Tromsø. It's placed in the US, in the UK, Germany, Holland, Italy, and Denmark. We have in Tromsø, we have the R&D function, finance, admin, and so forth and so on. But we are a truly international company. Our chairman of the board is a British lady, PhD in immunology, spent 10 years in investment banking and launched a few companies herself. We have another UK board member who is a successful medical device entrepreneur. So a very international board, and the management team is also British, Danish, Norwegian. So based in Tromsø, but on a very international platform. So that's basically us. 2 technology platforms, generating high-value products in high-growth segments. Within BetaGlucans, we have a wound care product, which definitely meet an unmet need today. If you talk to these patients and you see the gratitude once to see that wound they had, that suddenly finally heals. If you meet patients with chronic wounds or stall wounds, you will understand the pain that it actually is to have such a wound. And when you see the healing of it, it's great. So it's nice to have such a product that is actually out there. With our trials in New York, of course, the verdict is still out there. We are encouraged by the phase 2 results, and we are encouraged by the centers actually wanting to move this forward also. And we think that if we can provide a vaccine against a relapse of this awful cancer for kids, I think this is great. With enzymes, we are on the forefront of technology. We are working with some of the biggest diagnostics companies in the world. We are working with some of the newest gene therapy techniques out there. And our salespeople, who are PhDs, of course, also are in close contact with those customers, developing new enzymes for those applications. So we're quite excited about this, and we think that we have a bright future, and we think out there we are actually doing something greater beyond making products, but also helping people overcoming very tough diseases. Thank you.